Okay, let's see what wants to come through this morning. When I was meditating this morning, the concept of manifestation and abundance and like how to hold that, how to actually be able to like hold it and receive it was coming through really loudly, really profoundly. And so I think we'll dig into that a little bit more deeply. This concept of attracting or creating what we desire, right? And oftentimes, when it comes to financial constrictions, when we feel those financial constrictions, when we feel like we don't have enough of something or we want more of something, we tend to grip it and hold on to it super tightly and try to control it because we think that by holding on to it or something, that means we're never going to lose it, right? Like it's like, oh, it's come in and now we need to hold on to it super tightly with every muscle in our body. And the thing with that is, it actually ends up it actually ends up pushing those types of manifestations away, right? Because it's so controlled and it's so tense and it's so tight that the manifestation actually doesn't have any space to be received in your body or in your physical reality, if that makes sense. That's one part of it. Like there's no space for it to actually come in when you're holding on. Like I can feel it. Look at my wrists or my hands. Like there's no space in my hands to be able to actually like hold what I'm trying to create and what I'm trying to receive, right? And it hurts. It's like tense, right? So this idea of letting go, right? Like detaching with intention, intentionally kind of putting your hands out, right? And allowing and surrendering to kind of what comes and how it comes, if that makes sense. What comes through is this idea of, say, let's just say tomatoes, for example, little cherry tomatoes, just because, gardening, summer is starting, right? And you plant your seeds and you're getting your tomatoes and you're holding your tomatoes in the palm of your hand. And let's say you try to tighten your grip because, oh my God, you finally got your tomatoes. They finally grew and they're finally ripe. And you grab them and you squish them because you just want to hold on to them so tightly because you're scared, fear, because you're scared that you're not going to get any more. And so you hold on to it and you essentially squish your tomatoes. They become useless. I mean, you can use them probably in a spaghetti sauce, but you're squishing the juices out of your tomatoes and rendering them almost useless in a lot of ways, not in the way that you want to use them, right? And there's also this ideology of like, you're squishing the joy and the fulfillment that comes in receiving that manifestation, which is just kind of goes a little bit deeper in that, right? Like squishing the life out of your manifestations or those tomatoes. So what's helpful in these types of situations when you are in the process of manifesting is to picture what you want, what you're trying to manifest in the palm of your hand. And you can picture the tomatoes as a representation of your manifestations or what you're trying to create, right? Picture those tomatoes in the palm of your hand, but picture them laying in the palm of your hand and just sitting there, and they just kind of keep coming, right? And what does that feel like? What does it feel like to not be grasping your grip on those tomatoes? Like, feel that in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. What does that feel like to allow it to be dropped into the palm of your hand, right? Allow it to come in, but not squishing or trying to control it, how it comes in or how much of it comes in, just allowing it to sit and receive it in the palm of your hand, right? But also making sure that your hand is out to receive, right? So that's the whole concept of actually receiving. What does that feel like? Take a minute to actually just feel that in your body, in your mind. And when we talk about manifesting and receiving abundance and financial kind of more of that money or those relationships that you're looking for, right? Picture it landing in the palms of your hand, but not squishing it, right? Just holding it, giving it the space to grow, giving it the space to actually be able to be received by you and breathe and just allow it, right? So that you can actually receive it. Because the truth is, and I'm guilty of this as well, I'm also in the process of trying to manifest myself, but in connecting with these kind of concepts, right, and expanding on them, it's this idea of just when we try to hold on too tightly to something, whether it's financial, money, or a relationship, or a type of lifestyle, we're not actually allowing the space to receive. And we're also, we're not allowing the space for the universe or anything around us to actually support us and give us that manifestation or whatever that abundance it is that you're trying to attract in, right? And we actually end up repelling it because it wants to move freely and it wants to come to you. But it can't move freely if we hold on to it so tightly. We have to allow it to land in the palm of our hands. And even once it lands in our hand, we have to just allow it to be there and allow ourselves to receive it in a way that is aligned, if that makes sense. And so when you're in this process of intentionally kind of trying to think of your manifestations landing in your hand and receiving them and creating them, it might be helpful to think of them as these tomatoes. I like the example of the tomatoes because if you actually like grasp your hand around them, you will squish them and you're essentially squishing the life out of them, right? Like the juices come out. So it's not the same as like the sand example, I like the tomatoes better just because it's a little bit more like, you have to be a little bit more gentle in how you're receiving them and how you're holding them in your hand. But whatever it is, just kind of picture that coming in, that manifestation, and intentionally thinking of those tomatoes or whatever it is that you want to envision, and what that feels like to receive it in your hand without grasping at it, without trying to control how it comes in. That's another thing, and I can dive deeper into that if that's of interest to anybody. But letting go how it comes in and just aligning your energy with that frequency and not holding on so tightly. And allowing. Picture those tomatoes and what that feels like, and align that with your manifestations. I hope this made sense. It makes sense to me in my head. I hope that this video was helpful, and if you have any questions or you want any more kind of specificity or guidance, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you and respond to any kind of questions, and we'll see you later.